Okay, unless you live under a rock, I'm so sure you guys have seen this Coldplay viral moment go all around the internet. So I'm here to give you all the details about that. But before that, welcome back to Trending Now. I'm your host Sangamitha. And before we get started with today's video and I give you all the juicy details, please make sure you like, share, and comment on today's video. And let's get started with what this Coldplay moment is all about. Okay, so basically at every Coldplay concert, Chris Martin does a sort of audience scam interaction thingy where he points his camera at different kinds of people in the audience and then they just talk about it. And he panned the camera to this one couple, and when he did that, they just panicked and they left the frame and they hid themselves. Now the thing is, if they hadn't done that, if they hadn't panicked and tried to hide themselves, I'm so sure nobody would have said anything. But because they did, they started getting curious as to what was going on there, and they figured out that that was actually an affair taking place. So that guy was Astronomer's CEO, Andy Byron, and he was with the head of HR. It was so funny to me that she is literally the head of HR. Now, people tracked this down and then the families got to know, and Andy Byron's wife removed his last name from her Facebook, and an investigation was going on and he has been fired from his role. And the internet just did not let this go. They made this go absolutely viral. It's the only thing that's on my feed right now, and honestly the memes are so funny. Now on one hand, I'm super happy that cheaters have been exposed, but also on the other hand, it must be so detrimental to the families because their spouses are just the center of media and they're getting all the unwanted attention. So I feel really bad for their families, but I don't feel so bad for them. And honestly, this is just my very hot take. I do not think it would have gotten this far. I don't even think that their families would have found out if they hadn't panicked when the camera panned to them. Now, I do not support infidelity, but just food for thought. Okay, next up I have some very exciting news for Fleetwood Mac fans. Now they have been posting some very cryptic social media posts and it might be hinting towards a reunion. Now Stevie Nicks posted "And If You Go Forward" on her Instagram, and 30 minutes later Lindsey Buckingham posts on his social media saying "I'll meet you there." Now this is a lyric from their 1973 track Frozen Love. Now also Mick Fleetwood posted on his Instagram where he was listening to this same track and he called it "Magic Now, Magic Then" with the same caption. So people everywhere are just talking about how this is so exciting because this might be hinting at a reunion. And the official Fleetwood Mac page reposted Mick Fleetwood's Instagram post. Okay, now here's why I don't think this is a possibility, right? Now, I might be wrong. After the Oasis reunion, I was really surprised that they even considered that and that it happened. But here's why I don't think this reunion is happening. Now, if you guys don't already know the messy history of this band, Stevie and Lindsey were actually dating and then they broke off, but then they still stayed bandmates. And that also really shaped a lot of the songs that they came out with. And then much later, because of some disagreements, Lindsey was fired from the band, and then after that, he sued the band. So much drama, right? So much drama. But also Christine McVie passed away sadly on 30th November 2022, and Nick commented and said that there is no possibility. It seems like the door is just fully closed because she passed away. So I think this is just the band reminiscing and having a good time listening to their old tracks. Or maybe they're promoting remastered songs. But let me know if you guys think they're going to get back together. But honestly, I'm rooting for it. If they get back together, this is going to be like amazing for me because I am the biggest Fleetwood Mac fan. But you let me know in the comments down below if they are getting back together or they're just reminiscing. Okay, Kendrick and Drake, step aside. We have new beef. We have Nicki Minaj and SZA beefing like crazy. And I'm here to tell you guys why, what the issue is. So Nicki Minaj on this recent live stream just went off at SZA, literally went off. She was body shaming her. She was telling everyone that SZA needed auto-tune and like so many nasty things. So what happened here? Now, back in 2022, Nicki approached SZA's former manager and she wanted to feature SZA in a song. But the manager said SZA was working on an album and that he would get the message to her, but then he never got back to Nicki about this. And then this manager, he promoted one of his artists' song, Broken Barbies. Now, if you don't know, Nicki Minaj's whole thing is, being a Barbie. She kind of claimed to be one, and that was the kind of image she would put out. So that really hit Nicki Minaj. So she said that she was lied on by a man publicly after I rejected his business proposition on more than one occasion. She also said that he tried to start a smear campaign against her in retaliation. And now SZA is tied to this manager. So Nicki is just taking so many unnecessary shots at SZA, which I don't think is necessary at all. Like, I think SZA is just merely associated with this manager, and also I don't really understand the exact beef or why she's so butthurt by this manager guy. But she's calling SZA Miza now because it stands for miserable, and SZA is just sitting quiet through all of this. But I want to know what exactly happened. I feel like there's a lot more to this and we just don't know. Now, there are also no receipts that Nicki is providing us, so I don't know whose side to be on. Maybe I don't need to be on anybody's side, but you let me know whose side you're on. I respect and love both artists so much, but I feel like Nicki is really taking some unnecessary shots here. But thank you so much for watching today's Trending Now. Now, for a little song recommendation, I'm gonna recommend Gypsy by Fleetwood Mac. It is one of my favorite songs of all time. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please make sure to like, share and comment on today's video. And also subscribe to Radio 1 International, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
94.3 Radio 1.